Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Juan's World, and as you can see, I'm going to be doing some cooking today, and I'm showing you a herb that I found in the market the other day. I was looking for cilantro because I'm still trying to make green curry, but no luck. But I saw this and I thought, well, this is interesting, I'll just take it home. I had no idea what it was. I thought it might be some kind of Southeast Asian basil or something like that. And I took a look at the label, see if I can get it in focus for you. Yeah, there we are. And it's not helpful. The label in at least Roman script is not English. It says ma'arm. And at first I thought, well, that's not very helpful. And then I looked at the Khmer, which is at the top in the middle. It also says ma'arm. So I looked it up and found that it's called rice paddy herb. And I thought, okay, well, this seems interesting. Let's see what we can do with it. And let's get started. So here you can see that I've got quite a lot of the herb, a good fistful that I've just loosely broken up and put in a pot of broth, and I'm just bringing it to a simmer, and I'm going to do two things with it. One, I'm going to add some rice, and the other, I'm going to make a fish soup. And you can also see I've got a red pepper in there just to give it a little bit of extra flavor. And the first thing is just to make some rice. Very common in all of Southeast Asia to cook rice with herbs or sometimes green tea. There's all kinds of ways that you can flavor up the rice. And so this is just a simple shot. I'm going to put the rice in, and then I'll show you the finished product when it's made. Alright, so here's the first go around. I've cooked the rice in just the right amount of broth so that the rice is cooked kind of al dente in the Italian terms, I guess. It's not cooked mushy, it's cooked so that the grains are separate and the broth is all absorbed. And I'll put the exact proportions up on the screen when I edit this video. And here you can see that the herb and the rice are all nicely mixed together, and I can do a lot of things with this rice now. Obviously it can just be a side dish, but I could also wrap it in various leaves or rice paper or whatever. So I think that will be my next step. So here are some dried tofu sheets that are quite common here in Southeast Asia. They're a byproduct of the manufacture of tofu. I'm not sure quite how they make them. They're quite brittle, and you may have come across them perhaps in a restaurant where somebody has wrapped some rice in them and then fried them, which is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use the rice that I have made with the rice paddy herb. I'm going to first of all soak in warm water just to soften, same way as I did with rice paper in a previous video. I'm going to wrap the rice. Maybe I'm going to add a little bit of salmon, I'm not sure, and then I'm going to wrap it up, shallow fry, and then have my breakfast. So here I have a pan of warm water, exactly the same as I did with the rice paper, and I'm going to take a sheet of the tofu, and it's really very easily broken. So I'm just going to dip it in the water. Not going to take too long. I don't want it to get soggy, but I wanted to get it just pliable enough so that I can use it to wrap. It's going to take a few minutes. You can see it's already softening. The water is just lukewarm. So I'm going to let it, there we can see it's beginning to work. Need a slightly bigger dish actually, but this will be okay. I want to be able to control it as best I can, and then I'll go on to the wrapping part. Now at this point I've got the tofu sheets out of the warm water. It actually took maybe 2 minutes. You have to just judge it with your fingers as you're dipping it. It takes longer than rice paper, which softens almost immediately. This took a little bit of time. So now I'm just going to add a filling. I'm going to do it just like I would do any other roll, like a rice paper roll. And I may, my arms and hands may get in the way. I don't know. I don't have the convenience of an all-round camera or an aerial camera or such. So the first thing I'm going to do is place just a row of rice down the center of the tofu sheet. Don't know what the English word is for this stuff. I know the kamai. Okay, this rice has been refrigerated. I refrigerated it overnight. I think it improves with age. Now I'm just going to also take just a little bit of salmon. So it's kind of like a sushi roll or something like that. Just need to wipe my hand off. Now, fairly typical roll. You're going to wrap everything into a tight roll. It's going to take a little bit of work here to do that. It doesn't want to cooperate with me. I want to get all the air bubbles out. Okay, that's better. Now let's just fold the edges around so that it makes a tight package like that. Now what I'm going to do is leave it to dry for a little while because I don't want it to be all moist when I put it in the frying pan. So here we go. I have let the skins dry out a little bit, and now I've got them shallow frying in just a very small amount of oil, and in a minute I'm going to turn them over so they're brown on both sides, and then I'm going to cut the rolls into small pieces. And this is what we're looking for as a finished product, just having it nicely browned on all sides. I'm going to take it out, probably just put it on some paper towels for a minute to get rid of the excess oil, and then cut it up. So here's the finished product. I've cut up the roll into a few pieces. I've added a dipping sauce, which is a typical sweet and spicy sauce from Southeast Asia, and now I'm going to have a little breakfast. Now you can see here the remainder of the herbs from where I made the rice. So I took the tender top parts off for the rice, and this leaves some thicker stems but with a lot of leaves on them. So what I'm going to do is strip the leaves from the stems and then poach them lightly. So you can see over here I've already taken some of the leaves out. I'm going to poach them gently for a few minutes, and I'm also going to add some fish stock because I want to make a fish soup. So now I'm just letting the broth steep a little. You can see I've added some leeks and a few dried red peppers, and I'm just letting everything marry all together. It's a little bit warm, and now I'm going to go out to the market and get some salmon, I hope, or some other kind of fish. I have some shrimp, and I also would like to find some rice noodles. So that will complete the dish. So here is the next step. I've placed a small piece of salmon into the broth to poach a little bit. The salmon will give a little bit of fish flavor to the broth. It already has a lot in it, but this is a little bit more, and I'm just going to cook the salmon through. I will then take it out and just add back some pieces, and then I'm also going to add some noodles and some shrimp. At this point you can see I've added in some egg noodles. I'm just going to let them cook. They won't take very long, a few minutes. And towards the end I'm going to add the shrimp, and they'll only also take just a few minutes. Then I will add back the salmon and we'll be ready to go. Now here we are, just about ready. The shrimp are almost cooked and the pasta, the noodles are ready to go. So I just need to plate up. Now here's an image of the soup as it finished off, and now here is one bowl. There are a lot more than one bowl in the soup that I made, but it gives you an idea. I've got plenty. It's going to last me for several days. So this turns out to be episode 200. Not quite 2 years, because the total year is 104 episodes, 2 a week for 52 weeks. And I don't believe I've had any gaps here, but it means that 208 is technically 2 years, but 200's a nice round number. So this is your opportunity to tell all your friends about my videos, to like, to subscribe, and I'll be back with you for episode 201 on Friday. Have a good week.